Hi, this is Turali, and we are going to look into the business case today. What is a business case? What is a business case used for? What does the business case contain? Who should agree to the scope and limitations of the business case? Why is the business case created? A business case is an input to what process? Okay, so all these we are going to see really quick and try to understand what a business case is. So to begin with, the business case is a document that describes the necessary information from a business standpoint to determine whether or not the project is worth the required investment. So before we even select a project, we are going to create a business case and we are going to see if it is worth to go ahead with this project or not. Are we going to make the money on this project or are we going to lose the money? So it's all about the investment and where the company is going to make a profit. Now, what is the business case used for? It is commonly used for decision making by the managers or the executives above the project level. So looking at the business case, they will make a decision as to whether they are going to go ahead with the project or they are going to scrap the project. Now, what does this business case contain? Typically, the business need and the cost benefit analysis are contained in the business case. Now, this is to justify and establish the boundaries of the project, and such analysis is usually completed by who? By a business analyst using various stakeholder inputs. So now that we know why we need the business case and what the business case is, let's look into who shall agree to the scope and limitations of the business case. And the answer over here is the sponsor should agree to the scope as well as the limitations of the business case so that it goes ahead. Now, why is the business case created? Now, what are the reasons of creating a business case? Okay, now it's basically what are the reasons to go ahead with the project. So there are a few things. One of the things is the market demand. For example, a car company is authorizing a project to build more fuel efficient cars in response to the gasoline prices. Okay, so there is a market demand for something like this. There's a market demand for creating solar panels so that everyone can get free energy rather than using fuel to power your house. Now, the other reason would be the organizational need. Example, the company wants to cut costs because they're wasting too much money because their process is not streamlined. So they would want to come up with a project where they would streamline the whole process and reduce the cost for the company. It could be a customer request. Example, an electric utility authorizing a project to build a new substation to serve as a new industrial park. It could be for a technological advance where instead of going to the store to buy something, now you want to tap into the online market. So people don't have to travel, don't have to drive, and it makes it a lot more easier for them just to sit on the computer and order something. Okay, so that could be one of the things. Then a legal requirement where a paint manufacturer authorizes a project to establish guidelines for how to handle the toxic material, how to dispose the toxic material. Okay, Then we could have the business case created for ecological impacts. Example, a company authorizing a project to lessen its environmental impact. Now, there are these factories where they emit a lot of chemicals in the atmosphere. So they will authorize a project so that they can reduce the environmental impact, reduce the chemical that comes out of these factories. Now, another reason for creating a business case could be a social need. For example, a non-governmental organization in a developing country authorizing a project to provide potable water systems, latrines, and sanitation education to communities suffering from high rates of cholera. Okay, so all these are the reasons why you would have a project. And to have a project, the first thing you need to do is create a business case, so you decide if you would want to go ahead with the project or not to go ahead with the project. Now, the last thing we need to know is the business case is an input to what process? So the answer over here, it is an input to developing the project charter. So while developing the project charter, we will take the business case as an input and design the project charter on that basis. Again, this is Tutor Ali, and I thank you for watching my videos. Bye-bye.